Hey everybody, welcome into HelenKennard.com. I'm Helen Kennard, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Please say hello when you get here so I know who I'm stamping with tonight. This isn't my normal night. I was supposed to come on last night around 7 and I couldn't get my camera to work. My laptop was messing up, StreamYard was messing up, and I just thought, something is telling me not to do it tonight. So I ended up not doing it and rescheduling it for tonight. But if this is your first time here, for sure, if you enjoy this project that we're going to do tonight, like and subscribe, because I'm streaming this to Facebook and YouTube. So go ahead and, like, and you'll be notified whenever I come back on. But tonight I'm going to make a really cute project, and I want to show you where it's at. It's on page 43, and I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. I just got this stamp set. It's called Christmas Friends stamp set. And the dies that go with it. So I want to make sure I have plenty of projects to do with this, to make with this bundle. But I thought it would be fun to make this little bag, this Christmas bag, and then the tag that goes with it. So I went ahead and made a sample so you can kind of see. But anyway, let's get started. I had a time getting my thing up and running again tonight. I don't know what's going on with it. It's so windy out there. It could be part of it. But anyway, I got it going. What we're going to be using tonight is called the Regal Distressed Patterns. It's specialty designer series paper, and it is really cool. Let me show you. You get six sheets. But look how gorgeous that is. Isn't that just stunning? It's so pretty. So is this one. I love this. And I think the reason I love this one is because you can make it whatever color you want by doing your blends or, whatever. You can color it whatever you want. But this is the piece that we're using. And I used the other piece, and I've got some left over to make this one. So, so I'm going to show you how to do that. But I just love this paper, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. Okay, one of the perks of being a demonstrator is that you get to see all of the new product and order the new product before it goes live to the rest of our customers. So I finally got my mini catalog and my celebration catalog last night. So I'm so excited about this, and I can't show you the inside, but it's really cool to be a demonstrator because of that. You get it a month ahead. You can order, excuse me, a month ahead. And the other thing, hold on one second. Ooh, I'm glad I had that there. One of the things that I love about it is that they give you these recipes on how to make these. And one of the things that's really cool that I didn't notice here until I was reading the recipe on how to do it, they've taken a piece of Pool Party, and they've used the embossing paste on that to give it a look like he's skating on ice. Isn't that really cool? I think so. Now we're going to be using that, and as well as our pencils, watercolor pencils. Now we have two sets this one's called 1 and this one's called 2. So for sure go check those out. Well, I've got that to do. And but anyway, it's in the the sample, it's got the ribbon going all the way around it to kind of hold it shut, but I'm going to be using this over this next week, and I didn't want to close it up, so I just put some of the twine up here instead, so I can. But there's all kinds of things you can do with this little package. One is you can put a hole in it, and put your thread through that. Just a lot of things. Or you could put a hole in here, right there, and then close it that way. Or lots of different ways you can put 2 holes and then thread it up. So lots of different ways. But isn't this a cool little bag? But anyway, I wanted to show you that, and we're gonna work on that tonight. That's on page 43 of the mini catalog. So here's the, did I already show you the stamp set and the dies that go with it? So this big old round circle, we're going to be using that, the moose, I think that's it. But look, it comes with all kinds of little things, the stars, the bows, oh, that must be a presents. And there's a present with the little, gift wrap. And just all kinds of really cool little things in here. So for sure, go check that out. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 12 by 12 and we're going to cut it down. I feel like I've got so much around here. I hope y'all can see. Let me open this up. This is one of the things that I love about Stampin' Up's cutter is it has this arm that'll go all the way out to 17 inches. But we only need 6.5, which is right here. See that? Okay, so we're going to cut this 6.5 inches. And we're going to have this left over to do other projects with by 10.5. There we go. Okay, so we've got this that we can act as an accent somewhere. Now, these are only single-sided. So, so just know that. Now, on the long side, which is this side, you're going to score it at 4 inches. Now, look, this paper's very thin. So you don't want to put a lot of pressure. Oh man, where is my scoring tool? It's right here somewhere. Let me go get it. Doggone it. All right. Sorry about that. It's right here somewhere. I bet. I'm going to have to use this one. All right. So we're going to score this at 4 inches. Make sure you're using your score and not your cut. We're going to start with 4. Just enough to, get it 4.5. If you press too hard, you're going to cut it. 4, 4.5, and 5. Then 9, 9.5, and then 10. We're going to score the short way 1 inch. Again, make sure your using your scoring tool and not your cutting tool. Okay. All right. Now, that's all there is to it. Now, I am going to turn it over because I can see my score marks a little bit better on this side, because that side, look, see, it's hard to see them there, but you can see them here. And I'm going to cut these off. Now, you can leave these on if you want to. That one. And I think it's all of these, yep. All the way. Okay. All right, so let's score these up. All right. Now we fold down. There's going to be 3 scores here. Up and then down, or in, however you want to say that. Okay, same thing here. You want to go in, out. I get this wrong every time, so I had to practice it. Isn't that funny? Okay, so that it ends up, so you go in, out, in, back in. Because now we are going to put a piece of tape right here. See, it just folds right over and ends up exactly where it needs to be. So let's get that done first, and then we'll worry about the bottom. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. I'm using some of this tearing tape because it's got a lot of adhesive. And if this bag is going to be opened and closed, then we want to use a strong adhesive. All right. So again, you want to press this down, and it should fit exactly right, which it does. Yay. Whew. Now look. See that? All right, now all we have left to do is to get the bottom done, which is that 1 inch that we did earlier. Okay. I was just folding it then. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of this right there. There we go. All right. All right, so that is the piece that's going to go down. Make sure you square it up. Make sure you square it up so that it's not going to be there. Oh my gosh, we did it. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure it's got a good seal on it. Good. Hot dog. Look how good that turned out. And just that easy, you guys. Now again, you can, close it any way you want to. But I'm happy. Okay, that was the first thing. Now we get to make the tag itself. So I've cut out a piece of Fluid 100. And then I went ahead and stamped and cut him out so there wouldn't be so much time spent tonight. So I went ahead and cut him out, but stamped him. Now, when you're going to be using the Fluid 100, which is watercolor paper, you want to use StazOn, so that, because our memento is water-based, so we'll just smear it everywhere. So the StazOn is what you use to make your your images that you want to stay in one place. So let's go ahead now. We are going to put our ice skating here, so we want to make sure that we're going to get our trees up high enough that we can see them. Okay, so we want them up high enough. So let's go ahead and get our StazOn out. Ink it up really good. And we're going to put this one way up here. Okay, try not to wiggle it. This one's going to be down a little bit. And we won't see all of it, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put another one right over here. Like that. All right. Is that it? I think so. Okay. Now, the trick with StazOn is you have to use the StazOn cleaner, because this stays on. That's the whole thing about StazOn, is that it has a special cleaning agent. So what I'm going to do is just add this on here, because we don't want it to be permanently black, and let it sit there for a minute. And then I'll wash it off. I'm going to set it right here for a second while we're doing that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our watercolor pencils. All right, so I'm using Early Espresso, Basic Gray, Basic Black, Garden Green, and Cherry Cobbler. Okay, let's start with the mousse. Now, because this is watercolor paper, there's a lot of texture to it. Now, if you're not familiar with using watercolor pencils, what you're going to do is we're going to lightly pencil it in, and then Stampin' Up shows you where where we need to make it darker, and shadows and things. So we'll go back with a darker brown, but first we just want to start with a light color. And then the water activates the pencil with the color and will smooth it out. So like right now it looks like crayons. Looks like a crayon. You'll see what I mean in just a second. You see how it looks real bumpy? Okay, so you want to get your watercolor painter and have water in it, and there's a spot right there that says push. What we're going to do, I thought I had, nope. All right, I'm going to put a dab of water right there, just a couple of drops, because if I do that to this, it's going to mess it up. So you want to just dip it in there and smooth it out. It's a lot of fun to watercolor. And I'll show you how it smooths it out. Can you see how it smooths it out? Now, if we're going to put darker in the areas that Stampin' Up! Tells us that we need to make it darker to add depth to it, then we need to go on and do it. Okay, and then I like dragging it up. So we're smoothing that out and dragging it up. So it's not, it doesn't leave a line. Does that make sense? You don't want it to look like, you know, there. You want to smooth it on out. Drag that color so that it doesn't look like a, there. See that? Okay. Now, you do need some paper towels to get the brown off so that we're not going to mix colors. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the gray. Now, I'm putting a very light color in these areas just to give it some depth right there. And I think that's it. I'm not going to, now I'm going to do his boots too in gray. Again, you don't have to do it real dark, but in the areas that you want to shade, you want to put a little bit of extra. So they put them on the back of his shoes, right there and there. Oh, can you see that? And so now that we've gotten the green off, now we can go back with the gray. Just add some water and smooth it out. And then smooth this out. So it gives it some depth. There. Okay. So we're going to clean that off. Clean it off your pen. Okay, now we're going to start with our red and green for his scarf. Green, I think, is what I started off with first. Every other little area. And again, it's all going to be, I'm going to add some water and then just smooth it out. And the water activates the color and really brings it to life when you do that, when you add water to it. Can you see how bright that is? Okay, clean your brush. Clean your brush. Could you see that green on there? Yeah, you don't want any green. Okay, so now we're going to add some cherry cobbler. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can go outside of the lines if you want to. Oh, you can't really see. Shoot, I was hoping you could see how bright the colors turn when the water activates it. Anyway, really cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right. Okay, so now we're going to start on the trees. I'm going to let him dry for a second. I'm going to start back on the trees. Very little green on here. I'm not putting a whole lot because watercolor doesn't have to be dark. You shade it in. And once we activate it, it's going to be darker. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. All right, here we go. We're going to activate the color. If we go outside of the lines, that's part of watercoloring. Just adding color. Now, when you want to shade something, you press harder on your pencil, and that puts more color down. If you want it real light, you just lightly put your color down. So it's really easy to shade with watercolor pencils, because if you put just a little bit, then you're going to get a little bit. But if you really add it, you're going to get it a lot more. And see, the water will spread it. I hope you could tell. Okay, so there we've got our green. I think that's all that we're going to need for our actual watercoloring. Yep. All right. Now, so both of these are ready. Now what we have to do is we're going to take one of the, oh yeah. So I cut out this from the die, and then cut it in half, or a little bit smaller than half. Now this is a lot of fun. If you have not used the embossing paste, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Okay, you've got to keep the lid on because it will dry out, so you don't need a whole lot. In fact, I'm going to put some of this back because I can always add more. Now, all you do is spread it on here. And you don't want it smooth. You want it to look like ice. Does that make sense? You want it not smooth. And some needs to be a real thin, where you can barely see it. There. Look how good that looks. Now, the trick is to immediately, let me get this so I can set this there, close the lid. Now this has got to dry, so I'm going to set it over here and let it dry while we're finishing. Okay, close that really tight so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and did a half of a sheet. Now my trees, do you see, they're not going to show up quite as good as the one that we did. Where is the one? This is the one we just did. Where's the one I did? There it is. I wanted it to show up more than that. Oh, I know why. Look, if I wait long enough and let this dry, then it will show up a lot more. I might just wait for a few minutes. This one's already dry, though. I could cut it. Why don't I do that? While this one's drying, I'll go ahead and put this one on. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. You can see the trees better. All right. There you go. Can you see that? It looks like snow's on the ground. All right, all we have left to do is put him on and we'll be good to go. Wasn't this fun? It didn't take us too long, did it? I'm going to put him up with dimensionals. Way over here. Like that. Because we have to put the sentiment on. Now I went ahead and embossed the sentiment with Versamark and some white embossing powder. Now we're going to cut this one. And I went ahead and did that just because it was a little bit, I didn't want this to take so long. Okay, so we're just going to cut it a little bit. Now, of course, everything's going to stick to me. I'll put these up with dimensionals. Oh, look how good they stand out. Love that color. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to get some of this gold twine. May have some already cut. Nope. I'm not good at making bows. Oh, now as soon as I say that, I did a good job. Okay. All right, I'm going to trim them down a little bit because they're a little bit too big. Ta-da! Now I'm going to put some more dimensionals on, I think. Put him on our little bag. And we'll be done. There we go. Ta-da! Look how cute that is. This whole little bag is adorable. And then you put the moose on there, and that makes it even cuter with the ice that he's skating on. Anyway, I just want to remind hey Naomi, I just missed you. Aw, thank you. Thanks for stopping by, Naomi. You can find this on page 43 in our Christmas our mini catalog, and I thought it would be fun to make this little bag. So now I've got 2 done. Aren't they adorable? Anyway, all right, you guys. I hope you guys have a good week. Next week, I'm hoping to have a smoother Wednesday. That's when I normally am on for a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So I hope you guys can make it next week at 7. Hopefully all my technical difficulties will subside, and everything will go smooth next week. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, and then it'll let you know whenever I'm on. So you guys have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks, Naomi, for stopping by.